because we're moving on to September. September was a crazy month for me. I had a birthday. I got a call from Randy Couture telling me to get my ass off the couch and get back into shape, and I got back into shape. I was
Mm-hmm.
238 pounds mid-August, and till like today, December 29th, I'm
Yeah.
198 pounds. Beast mode, son. Anyway, September. It's so fucking silly. September was a crazy month. There's things that happen, but one thing that the Coffee Time Hot Podcast News, what we do on that segment is we bring light to things that needs to be spoken that big news media corrupts, or they just choose to be like, you know what, that's not gonna get a lot of clicks. Let's go away from it. There was this Iranian wrestler. His name was Navid, and him and his three brothers was executed in September because they chose to protest against a company in Iran, and the government was like, "We need to make an example out of this character," and they
Mhm.
executed him and his two brothers. They tortured them first, and then they executed. And we had our president Donald Trump. Basically, he kind of begged in a way to like let this man live and begged for his freedom, but there's a difference in where you live. This is one of those things where you're so proud to be American and you forget the privileges that you were born in, even if you were dealt a terrible card. At least you're an American, because you put you in Iran, you protest and you do these riots there, they kill you, and
Yeah.
that's what we were trying to point out. We were trying to mourn the death of Navid and his brothers and tell you the story of why he was executed. Listen to what I'm saying. He was executed by his government for protesting for a friendly protest because it was against their crazy laws over there. You know, and then you have here, you can riot, you can burn down businesses. As long as you have a Black Lives Matter, you can break curfew. You can break curfew in some sense. I'm not going to say who, but some people in the military that I know are not even allowed to go to the protests, even if they're peaceful. But if you support Black Lives Matters, you're allowed to go to the protests. Kind of weird, right? Anyway,
Yeah, it's weird how that fucking happens.
September was a crazy month, and the death of Naved was criminally overlooked worldwide. And this needed to be a point, and I hope we covered it very well, and I hope I'm covering it here. But Justin, what do you got on that?
Yeah, because, I know a lot of people, like, if I were to bring up his name, they'd be like, who are you talking about? And it's such a story because it really does, people have to remember, like, you have privilege as long as you live here in America. You have rights to do certain things. You have the right to speak out against something you don't like. You have the right to protest something you don't like. You have those rights that are protected. Because I keep hearing people, oh, well, if this person's elected, we're going to move here, move here. I'm like, dude, you don't know how good you have it here. In some places, like if you say the wrong thing, you go to prison. In Naved's case, if you do something, you will be fucking executed. And I believe like they were trying to make him take the fall for a crime he did not commit, if I'm not mistaken,
Yes.
correct?
So what they tortured him. They tortured him and
Hmm.
his brothers to admit to accept a plea deal admitting that he killed a worker of the company. It was some water company, water and sewage company that they were protesting against. And
Hmm.
yeah, they wanted him to take the fall, which he was like, "No, I did not kill that man. You're arresting me because of nothing. I was just there." Because he had a face, he had a name. He was a leader of that protest in a way. So yeah, that's why he was executed.
Yeah, and it's just such a thing. Like I really hope like after this, people will go to that podcast and really like look at it, listen to it, and be like, like we can. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in our country, and I understand it, but at the same time, like you also have to like just be thankful, like you get to do the stuff that you don't like. You get to speak out against certain things. You get to do things that other countries aren't even allowed to think of. So to have that privilege, like I really was like, I feel for him. I'm glad we got to talk about him. I'm glad I got to know who he was. and really be thankful for the stuff that has been given to me just simply being an American.
Yeah, and dude, he was a fantastic wrestler.